The Alchemy of Authenticity, transforming your story into your superpower. Have you ever wondered what would happen if you stopped running from your story and started running with it? I recently had the extraordinary privilege of interviewing C. Marie Williams, a visionary whose work has fundamentally transformed how we think about personal narrative and professional growth. Her insights have sparked nothing short of a revolution in how Black women navigate their journeys through corporate America and entrepreneurship. What struck me most about C. Marie wasn't just her brilliance, though that's undeniable, but her remarkable ability to help others recognize the power hidden within their own stories, especially the chapters we'd rather keep closed. C. Marie Williams isn't just changing lives, she's changing the narrative about who gets to succeed and why. Her work has created ripples that have become waves, touching thousands who previously felt invisible in their professional spaces. She embodies what happens when someone not only embraces their own story, but helps others leverage theirs as catalysts for transformation. The truth is, we're all walking around with these invisible backpacks filled with experiences. Some weigh us down, others propel us forward. But what C. Marie Williams taught me is that it's not the weight of our stories that matters, it's what we choose to do with them. Think about it. When was the last time you looked at your life story not as something that happened to you, but as something that happened for you? Most of us spend our lives trying to outrun our stories. We bury the painful chapters. We minimize the struggles. We Photoshop our narratives until they're unrecognizable, even to ourselves. And in doing so, we miss the most transformative opportunity of our lives. Because here's what C. Marie Williams understands so profoundly: your story isn't just something you tell, it's something you wield. It's not just a narrative, it's your alchemy kit for transformation. Let me share something that illustrates this perfectly. Marie Curie, a name we all recognize, wasn't always the iconic scientist we celebrate today. Before the Nobel Prizes and groundbreaking discoveries, she was Maria Sklodowska, a young Polish woman denied entry to university in her homeland simply because she was female. Imagine that moment. The door slammed in her face, not because of her intellect or capability, but because of her gender. Many would have accepted this as their story's end, but Marie Curie refused to let someone else write her narrative. Instead, she left her homeland for France, where she could pursue her education at the Sorbonne. She embraced the struggle, working as a governess to fund her sister's medical education before saving enough to pursue her own studies. When tragedy struck and her husband, Pierre, died suddenly, leaving her a widow with two young children, she didn't abandon her scientific pursuits. She doubled down. The result? She became the first person, not the first woman, the first person to win Nobel Prizes in two different scientific fields. She discovered two elements, pioneered research on radioactivity, and fundamentally changed our understanding of physics and chemistry. But here's what's fascinating about Marie Curie's story and what C. Marie Williams would want us to recognize. Marie Curie didn't succeed despite her challenges. She succeeded because of how she responded to them. She alchemized her pain into purpose. She transformed her exclusion into determination. She didn't just own her story, she leveraged it. And that's the first lesson C. Marie Williams wants us to embrace. Own your story, all of it. Because within those chapters you've been trying to erase lies your greatest power. Now, let's be honest, owning your story isn't always comfortable. It requires vulnerability, it demands courage. It means looking at the parts of yourself and your journey that you've been conditioned to hide. But as C. Marie Williams teaches us, transformation doesn't happen in comfort zones, it happens in crucibles. Consider Dame Marie Clay, a name you might not recognize, but whose impact touches millions of children worldwide. Growing up, Amid family separation in New Zealand, she witnessed firsthand how educational systems failed struggling young readers. Rather than accepting this reality, she transformed her observations into action. She developed Reading Recovery, an early intervention program designed to help children who fall behind in literacy during their first years of school. What began as a response to her own observations has expanded into an international model adopted by schools across continents. Dame Marie Clay didn't just identify a problem, she let that problem transform her into a solution. She allowed her experiences to shape her purpose. And in doing so, she created a legacy that continues to change lives decades later. This brings us to the second powerful insight from C. Marie Williams. Let transformation guide your purpose. The journey of self discovery isn't linear, it's messy, it zigzags, it sometimes doubles back on itself. But when we lean into transformative experiences, whether personal or professional, we gain clarity about our mission and direction. This transformation becomes fuel for bold, brave action. I'm reminded of something C. Marie Williams emphasized in our conversation. Transformation isn't just about changing who you are, it's about revealing who you've always been. Think about that for a moment. What if the challenges you faced weren't designed to break you, but to break you open? What if the obstacles in your path weren't roadblocks, but redirections toward your true calling? This perspective is particularly powerful when we consider the experiences of Black professionals navigating C-level executive assistant roles in corporate environments. These individuals often face unique challenges related to visibility, representation, and trust. They must manage complex expectations while maintaining authenticity. They navigate confidentiality concerns as trusted advisors while simultaneously fighting to be seen and valued. Yet many have transformed these challenges into catalysts for change. They've highlighted advanced skills such as secure data management. They've built strategic networks within organizations. They've prioritized clear communication about their accomplishments. The result? Increased placement rates for diverse candidates at executive levels and greater organizational awareness of inclusive hiring practices. These trailblazers have reshaped perceptions about who belongs at the table while inspiring others within their communities to pursue bold career moves rooted in self belief. They didn't just accept the status quo, they challenged it. They didn't just fit into existing systems, they transformed them. And in doing so, they charted brave paths forward, not just for themselves, but for those who would follow. This brings us to the third powerful insight from C. Marie Williams: chart a brave path forward. True empowerment comes from using the lessons learned on your journey to move forward courageously, whether starting a business, leading a team, or pursuing personal growth. Let revelation inspire you to take risks that align with your true self. But here's where many of us get stuck. We understand the concept intellectually, but the application feels overwhelming. How exactly do we chart this brave path forward? See, Marie Williams offers us a framework that begins with a simple but profound question. What is the story you've been telling yourself about who you are and what you're capable of? Because here's the truth: the most limiting stories aren't the ones others tell about us, they're the ones we tell ourselves. I'm not qualified enough. People like me don't do things like that. I tried once before and failed. I'm too old slash young slash inexperienced slash overqualified. These narratives become self fulfilling prophecies that keep us trapped in cycles of limitation and doubt. But what if we could rewrite these stories? What if we could look at our experiences through a different lens? This is where the alchemy happens, where we transform lead into gold, where we convert limitation into possibility, where we transmute pain into power. Marie Curie could have told herself, women don't belong in science. Dame Marie Clay could have said, I can't change an entire educational system. Black professionals navigating corporate environments could believe the system is too entrenched to change. But instead, they chose different narratives. They embraced their stories, not as limitations, but as launch pads. They allowed transformation to guide their purpose, and they charted brave paths forward that changed not just their lives, but the world around them. So, what's your story? Not the sanitized version you share at job interviews or family gatherings, the real one, the one with messy chapters and unresolved tensions, the one with failures alongside triumphs, the one that makes you uniquely you, because that story, in all its complexity, contains the seeds of your greatest contribution. As C. Marie Williams so powerfully articulates, when you fall in love with your own narrative, embracing the highs, lows, and everything in between, you unlock a deeper sense of purpose and authenticity that can guide your next steps. I want to leave you today not just with inspiration, but with an imperative. The world doesn't need more people hiding their truth. It needs more people wielding it. Your wounds, your struggles, your failures, these aren't chapters to be ripped out of your book. They're the very passages that make your story worth reading. So here's my challenge to you. Take that one experience you've been hiding, that challenge you've been ashamed of, that obstacle you've been cursing, and ask yourself, what if this isn't my burden, but my breakthrough? What if this isn't my weakness, but my wisdom waiting to be claimed? Then write it down, speak it aloud, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Because your story isn't just for you, it's medicine for a world starving for authenticity. The alchemy of authenticity isn't just about personal transformation, it's about cultural revolution. One brave truth teller at a time, we can transform a world built on pretense into one founded on the power of our real, messy, magnificent human stories. Your story is waiting to be transformed. And in that transformation, you won't just change your narrative, you'll change your life. And perhaps, like Marie Curie, Dame Marie Clay, and countless brave souls before you, you might just change the world. Thank you.